Richard Nixon didn't resign because of the Democrats. He resigned because of his own party. Republicans standing up for what is right. And in this breaking story, it's going to make you wonder who has more balls to stand up to the entire Trumposphere, the actual GOP Senate and House, or ironically, celebrities from Hollywood who are putting their careers in ways on the line to stand against this guy. Because please bear in mind, studios and multimillionaires and billionaires are not commonly on the side of the Democrats. And in this breaking story, you're going to see one particular person who has stood straight up to one of Trump's worst people, while at the same time, senators were backing this punk. And this is a incredibly cool and amazing story you want to see. And of course, who does it surround? Oh yeah, good old Matt Gaetz. Remember that prick and what senators were doing to try and get him confirmed as the nation's top lawyer, attorney general? Take a look at this.
Many of the folks that Gaetz is meeting with today, I think, are senators who are more inclined to support him when all the votes are in anyway. But the message seems to be essentially give Matt Gaetz a chance. Let him get into a hearing room. Let him have his day in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee to make his case and try to clear his name. That's the message that Josh Hawley, who told me he's likely to vote for all of Trump's cabinet picks, came out of his meeting with and told me about a little bit earlier today.
Let's not rush to judgment here. Listen, if people have concerns, okay, I get that. Let him have his hearing. Ask the questions. Hear the answers. Let's go through that process, and then people can make up their minds.
This is from the New York Times reporting. In encounters during 2019 and 2020, Mr. Gaetz and Mr. Greenberg instructed women to meet at certain times and places, often at hotels around Florida, and would tell them the amount of money they were willing to pay, according to messages and interviews and all of that. Should anyone inquire about their relationships, one person said, Mr. Gaetz told the women to say that he had paid for hotel rooms and dinners as part of their dates. So that said, let's go back to one very particular part of the Tucker Carlson interview.
Providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime.
And I'll tell you something, he's great and he loves this state. Congressman Matt Gaetz. Where the hell is Matt Gaetz? Hello, Matt.
Can you actually believe Josh Hawley saying give him a hearing, let's see, when Mitch McConnell refused Merrick Garland, a man of substance, to even have a hearing for the Supreme Court nomination? So yeah, that's Trumposphere and Matt Gaetz, but one of his classmates from Florida, Alan Ritchson, who's the star of Reacher, just throat punched him because he is a piece of dung, and Alan doesn't care what Hollywood thinks of him to speak out against both Trump and Gaetz. Here is the story.
Reacher star Alan Ritchson is a devout Christian, but apparently he's rubbed people of the same faith the wrong way with his acting. Speaking to GQ magazine, the action star said that some Christians have a hard time separating him from his characters and their actions on screen. People have this weird relationship with fictional characters, and sort of equate that to the real human being, Ritchson said. I don't have that problem, making that distinction. I get criticized a lot by Christians who are like, how dare you have an unmarried sex scene on TV and then talk about Jesus? I'm sorry. I doubt that's going to be part of the conversation when I'm standing at the pearly gates. Ritchson explained his faith in a THR cover story last year, saying that he is a Christian quite simply because of what Jesus calls us to do. But Ritchson also noted at the time that his religion had become the most vitriolic tribe, which is so antithetical to what Jesus was calling us to be and to do. Trump is a rapist and a con man, and yet the entire Christian church seems to treat him like he's their poster child, and it's unreal. I don't understand it, the actor said as an example. Ritchson also called out the atrocities that are happening in the church that are being actively covered up, even to this day with people not being held accountable, calling such actions repulsive. I can't for 1 second support the Catholic Church, while there are still cardinals, bishops, and priests being passed around with known pedophilic tendencies, he added. Ritchson, who will be reprising Reacher in the third season of Amazon Prime Video's hit action series, is known to speak his mind. In his GQ magazine, he spoke out against his former classmate Matt Gaetz. Ritchson and the politician attended school together after the actor's family moved from Illinois to Niceville, Florida. "That motherfucker. We are adversaries," Ritchson said. "It's shocking to me that the panhandle of Florida continues to vote for somebody. Knowing everything we know about him and the promises that he's made behind closed doors about pardoning certain criminals, he's just not a good dude. There's part of me that wants to get into politics to outdo somebody like him for good, and there's part of me that's like, I'm not duplicitous enough to succeed in politics. There are certain people that do a good job of staying true to who they are, but they're ineffective. I think Bernie Sanders is a hero, but it's like, what has he accomplished?"
Good for you, Alan. Good for you. Because right now, we don't have Republican senators really willing to stand up to Trump and him running over this country and democracy. Again, I'll say it out loud. I'm all for trimming the budget. I yell and rant about the national debt all the time. I'm all for disruption and change. All for it. There's a difference in cleaning out the garage, but burning the house down to do it. There's a difference in those two things. And that's what Trump and Musk, President Musk, are doing right now. And we cannot seem to find any GOP senators willing to stand up and risk their careers like Kinzinger and Cheney did to actually stop these punks. How ironic it will be if the true toughness in this country comes out of individuals in Hollywood risking their careers, just like McCarthyism and naming names back in the 50s, to stand up to what is going on in America. Stay healthy, strong, calm, keep smiling, enjoy your life. Talk to friends, talk to those you don't agree with. Stay frosty.